I believe truly that everybody is entitled to their opinion, and I believe that everybody can believe whatever they want and choose to believe from a political standpoint. However, in stupid America, what frustrates me so much is when people think they are aligning themselves with a certain candidate or a certain politician or a certain party or a certain philosophy, and they think they know what's going on and they think they understand when they really truly don't. They have either been programmed to be primarily a Republican or primarily a Democrat because of this or that. And a lot of times the reasons given are completely ludicrous, completely ridiculous, and frustrate the ever loving freaking piss out of me. To me, in order to be able to have a clear, coherent idea of what's going on politically, you should actually be able to do your own research. There's no excuse not to be able to in today's period of time. You should know where the candidates truly stand. You should know where the parties truly stand. You should know not to just believe what the media tells you and to go do your own research and find out what you're supporting, find out what you're not supporting, and then make an informed, intelligent decision and then believe what you want. But again, so often in this stupid America, that just doesn't happen. It's about sensationalistic rhetoric and the use of fears and emotions and passions to be able to control people. And I'm going to tell you a story really quickly here. I lived in Iowa during the 2008 presidential campaign. And in the run up to that campaign, I was there for the primary season and on the road to the Iowa caucuses in 2008. I was sitting at an IHOP one night and I had three Hillary Clinton ground workers, if you will, supporters, come up to me to try and advocate that I caucus for Hillary Clinton. And I said, well, this is going to be interesting. I said, I will not support Hillary Clinton. I will never support Hillary Clinton. And I want you to tell me why I should, and then I will shame all three of you for supporting Hillary Clinton. So the first person, who was a young girl, probably 20, 21 years old, kind of on the dumb and ditzy side, said, well, you know, Hillary Clinton's against the war in Iraq. And I said, well, that's funny because she was one of the ones that voted to give President Bush the authorization to be able to use military force in Iraq in 2002. So how could she be against something when she was for it to start with? That sounds like the same crap that John Kerry said in 2004. And she could say nothing. Then the second individual, who was a man and told me himself that he was gay, said that he supported Hillary Clinton and that I should too because she believed in equality for all and she believed that everybody deserved the same constitutional rights. And I said, well, that's funny, sir. I said, because Hillary Clinton was a supporter of the Patriot Act, which stripped away several of our basic constitutionally guaranteed civil liberties, in particular pertaining to the First, Fourth, and Fifth Amendments. So how does she support equal rights? And I said, you said yourself you're gay. How can you sit there and support a candidate that is against your ability to get married? You getting the same equality under the law, the same right to marry as straight citizens in this country. To which he tried to counter that that's not what she felt at all. I said, yes, it is, because she was once a supporter of the Defense of Marriage Act, just like her husband was. Furthermore, she advocates for civil unions, not full on marriage. She believes marriage is between one man and one woman. So you've got nothing. And then the third one, the old lady, she was chomping at the bit, probably in her late 50s to early 60s. She's like, you know, Hillary Clinton, unlike the Republicans, and unlike Barack Obama, she supports the American economy and she believes in American jobs and she's for the unions and against big companies like Walmart. To which, you know, the first thing I said, well, you're not going to get my support by advocating her support of unions. I do not like the premise or concept of unions anymore. An organization that once served a great purpose that has now become a corrupt monster. But you're sitting there and telling me that she supports American jobs when she was a very big advocate for NAFTA for many years during her husband's administration, once calling it and numerous times referring to it as one of his signature achievements um, during his tenure as president. that led to the giant sucking sound that Ross Perot talked about in the 92 debates of American jobs being sucked out of this country. That was not a good thing. And furthermore, how could she be anti-Walmart when she was once on the board of directors in the 80s for Walmart and worked for a law firm that spent years devoted to protecting Walmart in court in civil matters? It makes absolutely no sense. And the three of them, you could kind of tell the look on their faces, and they just kind of walked with their heads down and took that shameful walk of we just got owned. And my whole thing to them was that if you're going to advocate for somebody, if you're going to support somebody, you damn sure better well know what they actually stand for. You damn sure better well educate yourself. There is no excuse not to be. Don't be supporting her because she is Hillary Clinton. Be supporting her because you actually know where she stands on the issues and you actually agree with the majority of her stands on the issues. But so often in stupid America, that just doesn't happen. And I saw this recent thing from Stacey Dash, and it's very appropriate that a former star in the movie Clueless apparently is clueless about her own ties to the Republican Party and where the Republican Party that she loves so much actually stands on some key important issues here in the 21st century. She was approached by a TMZ cameraman that asked her, would the Republican Party do better on a national stage if they were more inclusive as a party and they were advocating for things like equal marriage rights for all, supporting gay marriage? And Stacey Dash kind of had that kind of befuddled look on her face. And here's what she said, and I quote, "But we are for equal marriage. We're not against that at all. We believe that everyone should have the same right," unquote. I'm like, wow. I said, you wouldn't know that from listening to 98% of the Republican politicians on the state and federal level talk. But, maybe she knows something that I don't. Maybe I'm the one that's clueless. Well, then the cameraman asked her an appropriate follow-up question about the mixed signals that are being sent by the party, in particular from the elements of the Tea Party movement within the GOP. And then Stacey Dash established just how clearly clueless she was. And I quote, "That's just propaganda. It's not true, That's just a certain amount of people. You just can't throw a blanket over everyone because certain people have one opinion," unquote. Well, Stacey Dash, you have established yourself to be an ideal candidate for Fox News. And no wonder they were so happy to bring you on board. Here you've got a black female. Now Fox News could sit there and say, we're not racist. We've got another woman as a contributor, and we've got a black woman. See, the Republican Party's not racist. Fox News isn't racist, and all this skip-de-skip and whoop-de-woo. And everybody can have a grand old time. And clearly Stacey Dash is establishing just how clueless she really is about the actual beliefs and the platforms of the Republican Party on a national level and mostly on the state levels as well. Therefore, establishing she will be the perfect type of talking point spewer for the Republican Party, pushing a certain right-wing political ideology and agenda that Fox News looks for out of its primary contributors. Because at no point in time can you sit there and clearly state with any sort of rational bone in your body that the Republican Party supports marriage rights for all and it supports gay marriage. And what makes me say that? Is that just me guessing? Is that just me throwing a blanket over everybody? No, you dumb bitch. That's because that's the official national platform of the Republican Party. The Republican Party advocates the definition of marriage as being between one man and one woman and also advocates and supports a constitutional federal amendment banning gay marriage. This is not propaganda. This is not just a certain amount of people. This is not just throwing a blanket over the entire group from a prejudicial standpoint. This is an established, legit, documented platform of the party that you are a member of. Maybe you personally are okay with gay marriage, but that's not the official stance of the Republican Party. That's not the official platform of the Republican Party. How fucking stupid could you be? How can you sit there and purport yourself to be a Republican when you clearly don't even understand where the Republican Party stands on the issues? This is the same type of dumb shit I hear from people that identify themselves with the Democratic Party when they clearly have no fucking clue where the Democratic Party stands on the damn issues. Stacey Dash is like so many other millions of Americans in stupid America. Fucking clueless. If you're going to support a party, and if you're going to support an ideology, a political philosophy, then you best damn sure good and well research. You best damn good and well sure actually take the time to figure out where that party stands, where that politician stands. Because otherwise you end up coming across looking like a fucking idiot. How can you sit there and say that Republicans are in favor of gay marriage when they clearly are not? How can you sit there and say that it's just propaganda when it is the Republican Party themselves who sits there and makes it an established key wedge issue talking point of their national political platform every 2 to 4 years? I hope someday we can get past the stupidity like this in this country, but unfortunately Stacey Dash is like so many other Americans, just flat out clueless, just contributing to this cycle here in stupid America.